Santiago Bernabéu a una de nuestras más grandes leyendas, ¡Toni!
Yes, you know what you do whenever you see we have DIMBA Freak Show. This is Afrique 24, whereby in Afrique 24, you know, we have a lot of shows. Make sure you have a date with us. And today we are discussing about the race for Euro 2024. Why? You know, Euro 2024 is happening in Germany, whereby a lot of teams are playing there. You know, some of the teams have even qualified for the round of 16. Best round of 16, we still have a lot of teams, including the host Germany. They have already qualified. We have the Portugal team led by Cristiano Ronaldo. We also have the other teams like Poland that have exited this competition. Of course, you know that when we have Euro, we have a lot of tough times. Of course, in Europe we have Euro. In South America we have Copa America that is happening, and of course, when we have Copa America, you know Messi is the main target there. And after they won their game, you know, of course they were planning there how they are going to compete for that Copa America. I know Lionel Messi is targeting the Copa America because soon we are seeing Lionel Messi retiring. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is there. He said that they will win this Euro 2024 if I am not there. I still want to see what is happening. He is still yet to score a goal. Likes of Bruno Fernandes, the likes of Bernardo Silva are the kind of people who are doing great when it comes to this Euro 2024. And of course, when we talk about Euro, you know, the defending champions, the Italy, they were defeated by Spain, 1 goal. And of course, I saw how the Spain dominated the game. The Spain have that one guy, Lord Nico Williams. And Nico Williams is doing a great job when it comes to that Spain national team. You can see even Lamine Yamal. You can see the likes of Marco Kurela. Those are the kind of guys that are doing well when it comes to this Euro 2024. And I'm very sure if you have been following what is happening in Euro 2024, you can see a lot of changes because teams like Turkey, you can see Turkey has been there. You can see England has been there. And the likes of Southgate, we are going to discuss more about Gareth Southgate because Gareth Southgate, with all those players, quality players, actually he has been doing nothing when it comes to Euro 2024. I have been seeing him to see very poor players to join. He is not even sure of the kind of lineup he's going to give us. We are going to discuss about Gareth Southgate and the kind of players that he should feature into the lineup so that he can even compete for this Euro 2024. It is a tough competition, and Julian Nagelsmann is doing a good job when it comes to Germany. I have been joined by Kevin Wesonga, and I can see he has another guy there. I will welcome you to this DIMBA show so that you can tell us where you are following us from, and also you can share your ideas when it comes to Euro 2024. We are going to come to that. And actually, I can see Zalendo. Zalendo is still here, but I know Zalendo is a fan of Manchester City. That is why he has changed my background. Zalendo, if you don't want a lot of problems, can you please bring back my background because we are out of EPL. We are discussing the race of Euro 2024. Who is going to win? Is it Germany, France, or UK? Remember to like, comment, subscribe to Afrique 24, whereby we have a lot of shows. We have the Bed of Roses. We have political show that happens daily. Make sure you join because it is by Africa 24, whereby you are going to get to know what is happening to the country, share a lot of ideas there, and also when we air your ideas, you can even help someone who is out here. In Africa 24, we amplify voice for the voiceless. Karibu sana Kelvin Wesonga, na tuambie unataka support timu gani pale Euro 2024. Kevin amepotea. In the meantime, you know that when it comes to Euro 2024, the very champions, that is the Italy, that played. Of course, when it comes to this Euro, we are seeing players like Toni Kroos who will be exiting this stage by end of this season. And actually, you saw what happened during the Euro 2024, 2020, whereby it was during the Corona times, whereby the players shifted the Euro 2020 to 2021. But the finals were held in Italy, were held in Wembley, that is UK, whereby Italy won those finals, and England with all those players, and of course Gareth Southgate with Harry Kane, Gareth Southgate with Declan Rice, Jordan Pickford, the likes of Raheem Sterling. They did not win the Euro 2020. We hope this season they are going to do it and win, because he has the best players and the best lineup. So we should expect more from UK, that is England. We are going to analyze more about the lineup. We are going to analyze what is happening to this Euro. Why are some teams that have exited? We have been seeing teams that are giving us a lot of surprise, the likes of Switzerland, the likes of Turkey. We are going to analyze all this in Africa 24. This is Dibal Africa. Make sure you always tune to this show, because you are going to be entertained. You're going to learn more about sports. And of course, we are not forgetting about Kenya. Kenya, we qualified for FIFA World Cup. That is the junior under 17. We are going to play in World Cup. That is going to happen in Romania, Republica. Make sure you are going to tune here, because you are going to know more about Kenyan football. And of course, yesterday we saw what happened. Gor Mahia were crowned 21st Premier League table. Of course, they won the Premier League, and they won the game, the Premier League in the game number 30. That shows how Premier League is changing, because if we can win by the game number 30, we had 3 games remaining. That shows how this team is very, very serious. And of course, we are going to discuss more about AFC Leopards, Kariobangi Sharks, and also more about other teams that are there in Euro 2024. Make sure you tune to Dimbal Africa, of course. I'm your host today, Boniface Kibazi. A lot of people are going to join. Wherever you're following, make sure you always take notes, because I am going to give you pure statistics when it comes to this Euro 2024. Someone join me in the stage here, and I will always welcome you. Welcome to this show, by the way. And you tell us where you're following from. Is Sadas, where are you following us from? And tell us which team are you supporting when it comes to Euro 2024, and why?
Thank you very much. I'm supporting Crisantus Mongare. I'm from Nyamira, Kenya. And in this Euro, I'm for Spain.
Why are you supporting Spain?
Because for a long time, you could have seen the Spain national team, which had stars like Andres Iniesta, David Villa. They are not now in the squad. You can see a young team build up of youngsters, very talented. And because of, if you look at their recent performance, you can clearly see that it's a team dedicated to win this Euro this time round, when compared to other teams.
Yeah. So of course you are saying you're supporting Spain because of the legends like Andres Iniesta. We had a legend like Carlos Puyol. I hope you know who is Carlos Puyol. So those are the kind of legends that we are there in the Spain national team. And very sure is that Spain, now they have young talents. The likes of Marco Cucurella. You have been seeing what Marco Cucurella is doing. Marco Cucurella, who we know when he's playing for Chelsea, is totally different when it comes to this national competition, because we have been seeing him floppy when it comes to Chelsea. But I hope there is some problems in Chelsea, maybe the coaching, maybe the players there, they are not comfortable. But we hope this Marco Cucurella will be maintaining the kind of form that we are seeing in Euro 2024. Again, you see, when it comes to speed, speed, it is always organized. You can see they have that guy that is Nico Williams. Nico Williams is one of the guys who is causing a lot of problems to defenders in Euro 2024. And also, that small boy that is Lamine Yamal. The guy is still in school, but when you can see the kind of dribbles that he's doing, actually, you can detect that this is a talent. These are the kind of things that we need to do to Kenya, because we discover that we have talents when we are still hot. We need to discover this when we are young, by the age of 10. We need to improve those academies, because the academies are the ones that brings out those talents. Of course, I will agree with you that Spain is a very good team and they are always on point. But do you think you can get who is going to get the goal of the season, or who is going to win the Golden Boot for this Euro 2024, and why?
Before that, there's something you have talked about Kenyan and the Kenyan football. The Kenyan football is really wanting because, yes, of course, we have talents from all over Kenya, but the scouting and the structural development of this program is not straightforward, because when I look at it professionally, I was a footballer while in high school, and there are some things which we used to see as young people, as young men growing up in football. The structure is the number one problem we have, because you can get a guy with a very good talent, a very talented player, but he can't be given an opportunity to play even in a school team, because most of the schools, especially from the region where I come from, they don't usually use students for their sporting activities. You get that these guys hire bogus. Yeah, they hire bogus from outside, and these bogus play in the name of students. Yet the students with their talent is left behind. Such things affect the talent of the young players or of the young students. And then when you go into national selection, the selection of national team, most of the time I call it biasness, because some players from different parts of the region are they are being brought on board, because not because of what they can do, but because of maybe their name or their culture, or maybe because of where they come from. This basically disturbs and even demoralizes the young players with talents. They are not given enough time to play for the school team, for the academies. This is a very big problem for the football in Kenya. And the election of the leadership of the FKF and the Football Federation in Kenya is a big challenge, because it's more of a political office rather than an office where somebody should be put who knows what to do and how to do it. It's more of politics, because you get that even the people who vote for the leadership are being bribed to vote in the candidate of their own, without even looking at the qualities of this leader. I think from my own perspective, this is the greatest problem we have in Kenya. Thank you very much. And let me give my brothers space to also talk about this. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this one. Absolutely, absolutely. I can see Kevin Wesonga is joining us, and of course, Kevin Wesonga, he understands more about politics. But I am very sure when it comes to Euro 2024 and also the UK, he has a team that is supporting. Kevin Wesonga, karibu sana, tuambie una support team gani ya Euro 2024?
Yeah, I don't know much about football, but I'll say something about football. Yeah.
Kevin, are you hearing me? Kevin, umepotea? Unanisikia? So what we are doing is that we are discussing about the Euro 2024. We are trying to analyze. We know some of the teams have exited, some of the teams have qualified for the round of 16, others are still struggling. When it comes to Kenya, you know, we have the Kenya Premier League that ended yesterday. Gor Mahia were crowned the champions. When it comes to transfer news, of course, but we are more based on this Euro 2024 because this is what is happening when it comes to football. And most of quality players, the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, when it comes to Euro, when you go to Copa America, we have
Yeah, sorry about that. We're having,
Don't say anything about football. I think his network could be the problem.
we are discussing about the Euro 2024. You know, when it comes to Euro 2024, but there is a question that was posted there. Why do we have our Kenyan football? Why do we have our players not given that time to play? And also, when it comes to our players being featured, there is always a problem. We have been seeing what is happening in the Arabic Stars squad. Our coach Eugene Ferrati has been there, and of course, when it comes to Arabic Stars, coach has not been consistent. He has been giving us very poor players. You know, a player can make a mistake, a player can be injured, but still, Eugene Ferrati will repeat the same mistake. I saw what happened when the lineup was called for World Cup qualification, whereby we were playing against Burundi and Ivory Coast. Eugene Ferrati gave us a very poor lineup, and I remember that day when the squad was being named. Eugene Ferrati said that he has not called Michael Lunga to the squad. The reason that he gave was like Alunga is not currently in form. But still, when it comes to Harambee Stars, we have been having Benson Omala. Benson Omala is a very good player, tactical striker playing for Gor Mahia. You saw what happened yesterday. Gor Mahia, they secured that win for FKF champions. Of course, they won it for the 21st time. So Eugene Ferrati has been giving us very poor lineup, and this is the reason why we have not been performing. We went 0-0. We went 1-1 with Burundi. Burundi is a very small team compared to Kenya. That is why when you compare the Kenyan football with Tanzania, you can see the difference. When Yanga and Simba are playing, you can detect that there is a big change when it comes to football in comparison to our Kenya. For example, we have Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards. When Gor Mahia is playing and AFC play, you compare Yanga and Simba, you will detect that there is a very big difference. And we should always be proud of our Rambesters. We can see the junior talents performing well than our best national team. What is the problem? The problem is how we select players. We are very discriminated when it comes to selecting players. We don't give priority to talents, but we give priorities to anyone who is known. We have a lot of players into these remote areas. You go to Baringo, you go to Western, you go to Nyanza, you go to Boyale. We have a lot of players, but when it comes to selection of the team, that is where we draw the line. Santos, what do you think is the problem that is affecting Arabic Stars? Because we have been performing poorly when it comes to international competition. Santos, can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Harambee Stars is a very good team, a very good team representing our country, Kenya. But the greatest problem that has been affecting Harambee Stars, number one, I can say, is the coaching fraternity. We have seen Harambee Stars change coaches like clothes, yet all these coaches don't perform or deliver. You can see all these coaches from abroad coming to Kenya with a very good record from where they come from, but while reaching in Kenya, the calamity starts. What I want to say about the Kenyan football is basically lack of a formidable structure to lead this team into competitions and make sure that they win matches. The number one problem, the problem of selection, I think most of these foreign coaches who come to Kenya doesn't necessarily know who players is who and where does he fit to where. Because number one, the coordination of players in the field is very poor, which means that lack of practice for a long time for these players is a very big problem. You can bring special strikers like Michael Olunga, who perform very who perform decently in wherever he plays. But when it comes to a national level, you get there's a problem. There's a problem with the wingers, the midfielders, the defense. Actually, the whole playground is full of scarcity mentality. All those players who are there, they are not even motivated. And if you look at this, the football of Kenya is being motivated by maybe some few politicians. Like we saw the Gor Mahia club, which was recently awarded a bus by the ICT cabinet secretary Eliud Owalo because he hails from the region and is supporting a team from his own region. He's not supporting Gor Mahia because it's a good team. He is supporting it because he comes from there and he feels that it's a home team. Is rewarding. When you look at AFC, it was in the recent past awarded some cash by the president himself, William Ruto, during their 6th celebration, their birthday. They were given some money. But the question you should ask yourself is, where is this money being channeled? Is it given to the players? Is it given to the team? Does it given to the scouts who are going to nurture talents for this team for future plans? You wonder where even the budget of this team, how is it being budgeted? Because we have seen many teams suffer because lack of structural and financial stability. The players are not motivated. You have seen Gor Mahia players, FC players, some time back going into strike because they are not paid or their allowances are being held. You get that there are so many challenges that these players go through even before going to the field to play. And with these challenges, I can assure you that performance will be a big problem. So the coordination between the foreign coaches, the players, is a big problem. Another issue in the Harambee Stars is you can see that there are some players from local teams and some players who have a privilege to playing abroad or outside Kenya. These players who play outside Kenya feel that they are more of players than these other local talents. This brings a difference even in the coordination of the team, because some players like Michael Olunga, when has the ball, he thinks that he's a superstar and he can't coordinate or pass the ball to a local junior player from a local club. This has been an issue not for Kenya only, but even to international teams. I think the issue with the Kenyan football should be coordinated right from the grassroots. You saw when the last season, when the Shabana was being promoted to the Premier League, there were so many competent teams that were playing and competing against Shabana. Look at the Muranga Seal and the Goose CFC. The Goose CFC was a good team that ought to be going to the Premier League. But because of poor management, lack of funds, and instability in the club was relegated to the NSL. You see, these are the big challenges our clubs, especially in our local teams, have. The financial constraints and the lack of proper coordination of coaching staffs, the technical bench, and the team, the players themselves. It's an issue. And it has been an issue for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for this wonderful submission. And as I can hear, is that you really love football. Of course, I want to say this when it comes to this Kenyan football, we are very poor when it comes to planning. Of course, you have said what is happening. Gor Mahia were awarded that bus by CS Edudowalo. People said that when it comes to football, Kenyan football, most of people support football when it comes to different clubs, ethnicities. If you come from Western, then you will support AFC Leopards. When it comes to Luo Nyanza, then you will support Gor Mahia. So if there is a problem, for example, there is a problem in Bandari. Bandari is based in Mombasa. You will see most of leaders will ignore this problem because they will see that this club does not come from a place. So they will leave this problem to the Mombasa people. And we are one country. We should always embrace these talents because it is only by these talents that we are going to feature into the World Cup and also Africa Cup of Nations. But if we keep on bringing tribals, politics that is more corrupted, we are going to waste talents. And that is why we have this poor national team. Of course, I will always say this, when it comes to Kenyan football, we don't have that motivation. The players don't have motivation because you can see the kind of thing that is happening. I was watching a tournament that is based in Eldoret, that is Tujamili tournament. That tournament, actually, I saw players playing without even boots. Players, the ball that they were using, it was so hard. And I was like, do we have leaders in Eldoret? Do we have someone who can support those talents? Because if you give them those balls, you support them with even water, you support with money, that is going to motivate the players. But if the players doesn't have those jerseys, they don't have shoes, they don't have even the boots, they don't have even the ground, poor planning. That is the big problem, that our talents and the academies are nowhere to be seen. And that is the problem that we have when it comes to European countries. You see how good they are when it comes to the academies. They invest more into the academies. That is why when you come to Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, they have good quality academies that produces quality players because they start investing into those academies as early as possible. But when it comes to Kenya, this is where we draw the line. You go to Northeastern, you go to Eastern, you go to Central, you go to Coastal, you will see that players even don't have the goalpost. They will be using trees. You know, I've been seeing a tournament in Turkana whereby the players are using trees without goalposts. So if a player is eaten by the tree, you know, that goalpost, of course, that is a disadvantage. Let us motivate. Let us invest into our football. Again,
Yes.
I saw the
And with the matter,
NSL. Mara Sugar, we say congrats.
I was
Yeah, continue.
saying about the ethnicity. In my view, ethnicity doesn't really play a big role in making the football of Kenya low standards, because because if you look at even England or Europe, it's all about regions. Football is all about regions. That's why in even high school you can play this dormitory with another dormitory. That brings about rivalry. That brings about the sweetness of football. So we as Kisses, maybe having Shabana in the Premier League or Luos having Gormeya should not lower our standards of football. In fact, it should enable us to be rivalry in matters football. Rivalry brings about the fun and the momentum that football needs. That's where in Europe you get a team like Manchester City. Manchester City, if
Santos, I think we have lost you, but we hope that you'll be back when it comes to analyzing more about the football. But I can hear you was talking about ethnicity,
Manchester
ethnic group.
and the people, majority of the people who support. Sorry. So they use these regions for their advantage. I was saying, when you come to England, a team like maybe Chelsea, majority of the supporters of Chelsea come from London. Majority of the Arsenal fans come from London. Majority of maybe West Ham come from the West Ham as a town. You know, football is all about regions, which brings about rivalry and the momentum that football needs. The problem we have is policies that support these teams. There's no policies, especially in football. There are no policies that support talents. There are no policies that say if a player is being held in this, has played for this club, if the club doesn't pay him or her, what next for the club? Will the club be taken to court and maybe forced to pay the player? There are no such policies in Kenya. And even if you can complain at whatever capacity, you'll be told that we don't know you, we don't. So this local framework and structures are the ones bringing us down. About the leadership supporting their own clubs from their own region, that's right, yes. But we have also, as leaders, we have to promote other potential clubs from other regions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be your own club from your own town. Maybe if you see a talent in Luo Nyanza and you see it's good to appreciate. It's good to reward. You saw the reward, and then the Kenya Federation of Football, they also need to up their game. Like the trophy that Gor Mahia was given in fact, they were given a good trophy in high school when you won games than what the FKF gave Gor Mahia yesterday. They have to upgrade their game so that they can convince many people to support our sport. in this region. Yes, we have many issues underlying the football in Kenya, and those issues must be addressed by the leadership of the day.
I think Santos, when it comes to ethnic, I will agree with you that it is only because of these rivals that we have those clubs, that we have Gor Mahia, that we have Gusii, that is Shabana. And I want to say congratulations for Shabana because you avoided that relegation. Actually, yesterday's win was very key to Shabana because if
Yes,
at any point you could have lost that game, absolutely you could have been relegated. But I'm very happy for Samuel
yes.
Molo. I'm very happy for Samuel Molo Pamzo. But what I can say is that Shabana, what they need to understand is that there was a difference when it comes to NSL and Kenya Premier League. You know, when they were promoted to the Kenya Premier League, they had a lot of anxiety. The celebration that I saw there, they were so motivated to join to the Premier League. But the main problem that happened into Shabana after I saw their game, from the first game to the maybe seventh game, is that they did not understand that this is FKA Premier League, that you need to be strong at any point. If it is defensive, striking, midfield, you need to be strong, because at any point you are going to be loose, then you are going to be defeated. So I think that Samuel Bolo Pamzo is going to work on that, and come next season, the main Shabana that we have been seeing when it comes to NSL, they will be back and they will feature into even top 5 or top 10, because the kind of support that the team management is giving the players,
Trophy.
it is.
We are coming for the trophy.
I understand. I
Yes,
understand
because
that you
when
are
you
coming
look
for
at
the trophy, but
Shabana, yes, when you look at Shabana, in fact, even if it has been defeated, you can look at the stability of their game. You can look at how they pass, how they go, how they counter, how they defend, and you can tell me if you have keenly watched the game for Shabana. Most of the goals, most of the games they have been defeated. They have been narrowly been defeated, and it has been last minute mistakes, which I think for me, Shabana number one, the issue was about the home ground, football, which has been under renovation. The Kisi Stadium has been under renovation, and I was there the other day. I saw them planting grass.
so he's saying that
Disappointment team.
so I'll tell
Yes,
you
because
this,
you can't
Santos.
compare Shabana. You can't compare Shabana playing in Homa Bay as a home ground and the same Shabana playing in Kisii Town as a home ground. It is totally different. As much as we went there, as many fans as we could, it's not the same experience. And then the other thing was the pressure from the fans. The fans really wanted results. Never knowing that it's a different experience being in the NSL and going to the Premier League. But for the time we have been in the Premier League, and for the fight we have fought to remain in the Premier League, I want to assure you next season it should not be a game as usual. We are going to come for this trophy, and in fact we are going to dismantle Gor Mahia and make it trophyless. You saw their chaplain saying that they are going to win CAF, they are going to win many trophies. Yes, they'll win CAF, but they'll not win the FKF, which will be for Shabana next season.
Absolutely, I can detect the kind of anxiety that you have when it comes to Sabah. But of course, I always understand that when you have a team that is playing and comes from your region, you'll be happy. I hope that you are going to remove Gor Mahia into that position, because as you can see, FC Leopards, Sofapaka, Tusker, Kariobangi Sharks, they have just ignored this competition because they allow Gor Mahia to win it anytime. We have no competition when it comes to FKF Premier League. And I hope Torre Bobe will just win this cup come 2025. I am waiting for this one. Of course, this is one of the Shabana fans that is supporting Shabana, and I'm very sure that they are happy that they avoided the relegation. Of course, when you have a team that comes from your region, you'll be happy and you'll be enjoying what the players are doing on the pitch, and also making sure that everything goes in order. Remember, this is the DIMBA Afrique show, whereby I am your host today, Boniface Kimanzi, joined by Santas here. Remember to follow us in all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You follow us in YouTube. Go there, like, comment, subscribe. I can see Leo. Leo is saying this is the most successful clubs across the world, and even are community-based, tribal-based. The last time Kenya conquered the world of football, we had Abaluya, Luo clubs, etc. That is a comment from Leo TV. Someone is saying this: football without referee or 18 cannot be competitive. Let players play professional and fans fight. Ze ni Kenya. Currently hata derby hatuna vita kwa derby. We need that hatred. But I want to comment on this. When it comes to Kenyan football, I can see that we have a problem when it comes to this fight. Because the last time I saw Gor Mahia playing against AFC Leopards, there were some fights whereby the fans were injured, and also the stadium was destroyed, properties damaged there. I think we need to be peaceful. The hatred should not go to that extent whereby things have been destroyed, people injured. We should just maintain peace. If the hate is there, let the banter be like when we have Europe. When we have European countries, for example, Chelsea playing against Manchester United, you will see the fans are still there, but they cannot injure each other. The problem we have with our fans is they like fighting, and the trouble, the fight, the rivalry should not go to that extent, because if it goes to that extent, then this is the problem. This is where we draw the line, because FIFA will just detect this one and will be bad. The main question is Kenya ready for hosting AFCON 2027? Do we have stadiums? Do we have players ready? Do we have restaurants? Do we have stadiums? Do we have enough security? Are we ready for hosting AFCON 2027? Santos, what do you think? Are we ready for hosting AFCON 2027?
Thank you for this. I think and we have seen the only we are going to host three nations: Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and most of the stadiums Kenya will be using three. The other one.
Come closer to your microphone, please. We are not hearing you well.
I'm saying it's a good thing to host the AFCON 2027 in Kenya, and the lucky side was we are not going to host it alone. We are going to co-host it with Tanzania and Uganda, which in my view, Tanzania and Uganda has more better facilities, especially stadiums, than we do here in Kenya, and that will play on our side. We have a little to prepare on, which is currently underway. I saw the stadium in Ngong is already in progress. The Kipchoge Keino Stadium in Eldoret is already in progress, and the other stadium is already in progress, which in my view, by then we'll have our stadiums ready, and these other African countries that we are going to co-host with, are also ready. So we are good to go, sir. We are good to go, and we welcome all African teams to Kenya, especially so that they can feel the charm of being in Kenya. What
Yeah, certainly saying that we are ready to
my
host.
greatest worry. Yes, we are ready. We are very ready to host because we have resorts, we have restaurants, and I think the few that are available will be good to for squeezing.
But sometimes I will ask you this question because I have been seeing what is happening when it comes to Kenyan football and also the Uganda football. You have been seeing that in Tanzania they have Benjamin Mkapa Stadium. When it comes to Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, that is the stadium that can host up to 60,000. They have been doing their national celebration in Benjamin Mkapa Stadium. So if they schedule the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium to be hosting the AFCON, they can be ready, including other stadiums, for example, in Dodoma, in Dar es Salaam, in Tanga. They can be using Benjamin Mkapa Stadium to host as the main event stadium. Well, the other stadiums are supporting. But when it comes to Kenya, we have Kasarani. Kasarani, we have national, that is Nyayo. We also have the Ulinzi Sports Complex. We have the Dandora. Do you think those stadiums are ready? And of course, we have been seeing that is happening in Talanda Ella Stadium. That is proposed to start Talanda Ella. I know a lot of PR has been done in that stadium. That is why they said they have been given above that duty with the support by the KTF. But even the gate of the Talanda era has not been constructed. Even the foundation has not been constructed. Do you think this stadium will be ready by 2027? And they are saying that that is the main stadium that will be hosting. Can this stadium be ready by 2027? Yet we still be corrupting, we still be squandering money when it comes to sports, and generally our sports industry is not up to standard. Do you think we'll be ready by 2027? And if not Talanda Ella, what any other stadium can be ready for 2027 to host? For example, a opening match between Ivory Coast and Egypt, or Ivory Coast and Senegal, or Nigeria versus South Africa.
Having been aware of our standards of the stadiums in Kenya, I think the officials of and the organizers of this event are very aware of what is going on in this country, especially, and I'm sure big matches, especially the opening matches between Ivory Coast and Egypt, which may attract many fans, will not be played here in Kenya. It will be transferred to a larger stadium, as either Benjamin Mkapa in Tanzania or the Ugandan stadium. I think for Kenya, it will be given to host smaller matches because of the audience. It will be hosting smaller matches that will not be attracting much fans, so that we'll be capable to handle this situation. Because if you bring, especially an opening match between Ivory Coast and Egypt, to either Kasarani or Eldoret Kipchoge Keino, then it will be a very big stampede. Many people will die out of stampede. So in my view, I think the officials are very aware of this, and maybe they'll be making necessary arrangements. That's pre-match arrangements before the actual football matches. And for me, talking from the engineering perspective, having been I'm an engineer professionally, what the Talanta Hela Stadium, we have been given timelines and deadlines from the Ministry of Sports. They have told us that by 2027, the stadium will be ready to host the match. It will be very shameful. It will be very shameful for the government of the day, especially the Ministry of Sports and the president, because it's Ababu Namwamba and the president who really bidded for this thing to come to Kenya. It will be very shameful if they can't achieve to complete this stadium by 2027, because that's the reason why they even gave it to the Kenya Defense Forces, because they believe that the Kenya Defense Forces has no corruption loopholes that can see it stranded before the day comes. About the stadium timelines, I saw the stadiums in Qatar, which were being built by the modern Chinese firms. They were being assembled. They were boats and containers being assembled together. In fact, in less than a month, the stadium was ready. Here we are here in 2024. We have 2.5 more years to go. I think by the latest technology and the technology they are intending to use for the Talanta Hela, I think we can achieve all our timelines. Yes.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of course, there is a point that you brought in there whereby happening match between Ivory Coast and Egypt will not be done in Kenya. I think this is a big loss because Kenya is a big country. Why don't we host an opening match? Because if we host an opening match whereby we are hosting Ivory Coast, for example, with the South Africa, our restaurants, our hotels, our roads, our everything, we are going to get a lot of income. Revenues will increase because those countries will move to Kenya to support their countries. So everything will be occupied. Restaurants, bars, people will enjoy it because this is AFCON. So if we transfer those importances, those advantages, those good things to Tanzania, to Uganda. Of course, in Uganda, they have Nambole Stadium. Nambole Stadium is one of the best. Actually, Museveni was saying that he is ready to host AFCON alone. He doesn't want this AFCON bid whereby we are having Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. You go to Tanzania, Mama Samia Suluhu, if she is given that opportunity to host AFCON, he can host it alone. Actually, in Tanzania, you can see how they performed in Africa Cup of Nations in Africa. That shows that they are trying because they qualified for AFCON. Kenya, since 2019, we have never qualified for AFCON. You saw what happened when we are playing against Burundi. We are just struggling feebly because we don't understand what is football. But when our team is there, I don't know what is happening. We shall discuss more about Harambee Stars, but we said that our main problem is the coach and also the players. Again, this AFCON will be setting standard for other countries. So we saw what happened here in Ivory Coast. Alone, Ivory Coast hosted AFCON. But in Kenya, even the talents, even the stadiums, they are not ready. You are saying that where we will be given small matches. Is Kenya a very small country, less developed to be given a small match, for example, between Seychelles and even Zambia? I saw even Zambia pulling one of the best performers, and also DRC Congo. You saw what happened. The DRC Congo, people were saying that those guys understand only Rumba, but when it came to AFCON, they went up to quarterfinals. That shows how teams and the national teams are prepared for international competition. But in our country, Kenya, we have CS Ababu Namwamba there, the president there. We are having Mandamano nowadays. No, but when it comes to good ministries, I am very sure when we will be focusing with sensitive ministries in Kenya, that is when we will develop. We have ministry for sports. That is where talents are nurtured. We have ministry for defense, ministry for security. Of course, you cannot bring players like Lionel Messi to Kenya whereby fans will be fighting. You'll find a Luo fan carry mawe kama 100 anaenda nayo kwa ground, anaenda kupigana. So security in our country is very poor. You saw what happened the other day when Gor Mahia was playing against the FC Leopards. Do they give it the security? Do we have the security for opening match between even Algeria and Zambia? Do you have security in our country stadiums? Do the stadiums yeah, we are very poor. I think we should focus with the stadiums. We should focus with security and other things, because to be recognized as by FIFA to host those competitions, you need to be 100% sure that you are qualified. Because I saw the other day the FIFA president Gianni Infantino, he sent representatives to come to Kenya so that they can benchmark what is happening during the AGM. The FKA president and also the stakeholders did not on the AGM. We were given a notice by the FIFA that if we are not going to have the AGM, absolutely we are going to be denied the access to host AFCON 2027. And do you think there is a problem when it comes to our management, like the FKF? Do you have problems with the FKF?
FKF has been having problems since time immemorial. FKF has been having problems for a long time. You saw at one point Kenya being disbanded out of FIFA. Yes,
I saw.
Yes, the problem with Kenya is mixing football with the politics. In Kenya, everything is politics. In Kenya, everything is politics.
So you are saying that if we withdraw politics from our Kenyan football, then we are going to march to the next level.
Yes, because number one, we can't be blaming only the national government or the Ministry of Sports like Ababu na Mwamba. In fact, in Kenya, we have 47 counties. Out of these 47 counties, each county has a Ministry of Sports. And if you can trickle down, yes, if the Minister for Sports is not working, what has the Minister for Sports in your county done to your local sports? That's the question. In where I come from, the county I come from, in Nyamira County, it's a disgrace. In fact, the person in charge of sports in our county is a 70-year-old granny. As a governor, what do you expect from appointing a 70-year-old granny who can't even jog as a show of showing she is a sports ambassador in the county? What's there that you give? What's there that you expect from this granny in matters sports? She doesn't even know where our stadiums are. Our stadiums or our local field are very demarcated situations. Our local sports is dead. How can Ababu na Mwamba know about our local talents when the minister, the county minister for sports, is not even aware of what is going in the local town? I think this thing must trickle down even to villages. The ministers of sports at county level, the Ministry of Sports at county level should be the sole leader to lead sports from the grassroots. And every county has a ministry for sports at the county level. But all these are asleep. So we can't be blaming Ababu na Mwamba in national.
Yes, you're saying that we cannot be blaming CS Ababu na Mwamba when it comes to national teams selection and also poor performance. We should be focusing with the grassroots leaders. Of course, when you are a governor and you expect to deliver, when you are choosing leaders who are 70 years old, then that is a big problem that you are setting when it comes to your county. And if you not be serious, then absolutely you are going to have poor performance in your county when it comes to sports. You think that in Nyamira County, a 70-year-old granny is the head of the sports zone. So that is a big problem because that Mzee will not go to the stadiums. Of course, he cannot even know what is happening. He cannot even go to those areas. We need to be serious when it comes to those young ones, because if you have a young leader who is someone of just 30 years, someone who even between 20 years, someone who can identify a talent, someone who knows well to spot a talent, absolutely. We are not trying to say that the older Mzees are not good for the leading the team, but experience is the best teacher. But at times, we need to be serious when it comes to nurturing talents. Of course, talents is one of the things that is paying nowadays. Quality players are using talents to grow. Quality players are using talents to make sure that they are role models. You saw Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane in Senegal is doing a very good job. And even the likes of young leaders in Senegal, they support what Sadio Mane is doing because the guy plays football with all the passion. I am very sure Sadio Mane is a role model. Again, when it comes to Kenya, those leaders should understand what is football, how to spot a talent, how to nurture a talent. Because we have been seeing what is happening in FKF. They have a lot of problems led by the FKF president, Vicky Mwendo, and also the stakeholders. They always complain. They always fight against each other. So if they are fighting and they are the leaders, how do you expect our Kenyan football to move to the next level? This is a big shame to our football, and we saw the junior talents and the under 17. They are doing a very good job when it comes to football. They even the junior talents qualified for under 17 World Cup. That is the first thing that we have achieved as a country. Milton Ocheche, the head coach of Julius Talents, is doing a good job. And when it comes to Eugene Ferrati, the head coach of male national team, that is where we draw the line. What do you need to perform? What do you need to do so that we can achieve? We can match with the developing countries, and also we can match with South Africa, Zambia, the likes of Uganda, Cranes. Football, we need to understand sports generally. We need to embrace sports in our country because this thing is paying. Remember, this is Africa 24 DIMBA show, whereby I am a host, Boniface Kimanzi. Remember to follow us in all social media, either in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. If you like our comment, subscribe. That is all what we want, and that is all what will move us to the next level. As we continue with this DIMBA show, after this short break, we are going to focus with Euro 2024. Tell me, which team are you supporting and why? Tell me, who do you think is going to qualify for semis and also win this Euro 2024 that is happening in Munich, Germany?
The Kenya women under-17 football team, the Junior Starlets, became the first Kenyan football team to ever qualify for a FIFA World Cup after beating Burundi 2-0 at the fully packed Ulinzi Sports Complex in Nairobi. Marion Serenge and Valerie Nekesa were on target for the Kenyan under-17 side, both goals coming in the first half, making it 5-0 on aggregate, sealing their ticket to the Global Fiesta set for October 16th to November the 3rd, 2024 in the Dominican Republic. Kenya won the first leg 3-0 a week ago at the Akila Abebe Stadium in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and needed just to avoid a defeat of more than 2 goals to qualify. But the girls went for more glory, winning 2-0.
It's a blessing from God because this is the first time we are experiencing this, and it's also something big for the country and for us. So we are more motivated to even go and perform better at the World Cup. So this win will be able to tell the other players or teams that it is possible to go to the World Cup, and with proper structures and investment, I believe we can get more teams to go to the World Cup.
Yes, that is Mildred Cheche. That is our national anthem that we will be seeing, because qualifying for the World Cup is one of the best things that can happen to the country. I'm very happy that Kenya qualified for the World Cup, because we will be flying our national flag. Again, as we shift from the Kenyan football, absolutely directly we're going to focus with what is happening in Euro 2024. I saw German, those German machines, they qualified for the round of 16 after winning their first two games with one remaining. I saw Portugal winning their two games. That absolutely tells you that they are going to qualify for the round of 16. We saw Spain qualifying. Teams like Poland, they went home, despite them having quality players like Robert Lewandowski, who plays for Barcelona. He's the goal machine, Robert Lewandowski, but still they went home. They have good players. Yesterday, I saw Hungary pulling one of the greatest performers. The Hungary led by Liverpool midfielder, that is Dominic Zombozilai. They won their game. And actually, when I saw the game that Hungary played, it's like they understand the assignment, because they played against Germany on their first match, and they played against Germany, and how they play is like the team is organized, the midfield, the defense, and also the striking. And these are the teams that are going to cause a lot of stress to the defenders and so to the other team. I also saw what happened in UK, that is the England national team. Gareth Southgate is doing nothing when it comes to this team, because how do you expect, if you have quality players like Cole Palmer, the likes of Declan Rice, the likes of that is Jared Baldwell, the likes of Harry Kane, the likes of Bukayo Saka. You have players, but you cannot deliver. That shows how poor are you as a coach. I think England should just remove Gareth Southgate from this team, and they get a good another coach. We have coaches who can move and take this team to the next level. That is all what I'm saying. That Gareth Southgate need to be serious with the team of England, because we expect more from those talents. We expect a lot of goals when it comes to England play against other teams. Actually, the way they are playing, it shows how poor the coach is. And what I'm saying is that this Euro is going to give us a lot of surprises, but the host Germany are not joking with this competition. Still, we don't have the top scorer for the Euros. We are going to the round of 16. Still, we don't have top scorer. They are just trying to feeble. We have all goals that are happening there, but we expect that we are going to get a lot of goals when this Euro tournament is approaching to the end. Remember, Africa 24 is a worldwide channel, either in East Africa, South Africa, the whole continent of Africa. You will be in the USA. Tune in Africa 24. We have political shocks that happens every day at 10 p.m. That is East Africa time. Wherever you are, make sure you make a date with us, because you give ideas, educated, and also understand more about politics when it comes to Kenyan perspective. Of course, in Kenya we have a protest because of the financial bill, but more will be discussed on the political show. Again, when we move to transfer news, of course, I will see what is happening. Teams are trying to strengthen their teams. I will see Chelsea trying to strengthen their team, Manchester United trying to strengthen their team, and also Aston Villa, Arsenal. We are preparing for the next season. And as I saw, the Premier League schedule is out. Chelsea will be playing against Manchester City. On the first match, it is Enzo Maresca, who is the new coach for Chelsea, against Pep Guardiola, who is going to win the first match. It is a very tough time, because considering Chelsea performed poorly during the last season under head coach Mauricio Pochettino. Now they have former Leicester boss, who is Enzo Maresca. Is Enzo going to deliver? Is Enzo going to give us the performance that we want? This is what we are expecting. But remember, EUK, that is the English Premier League, will resume come August. We will be there. We will be there no matter what.
Real Madrid y del Real Betis Balompié reciben en su último partido oficial en el Santiago Bernabéu a una de nuestras más grandes leyendas.
Is alleged Toni Kroos will be retiring from football. Kroos, after winning Champions League, La Liga, now he is waiting to see whether he will lift this Euro 2024 in Munich, Germany. Of course, Arsenal is trying to sign the Newcastle striker Alexander Isak so that they can strengthen their forward. They are not trusting the Brazilian striker Gabriel Jesus, and of course, they are trying to seek and get another striker. Chelsea, they want to sign Nico Williams from Atletico Bilbao. That is a good guy there playing for Atletico Bilbao. Still, Chelsea are interested. When you go to Manchester United, there is always a problem that Erik ten Hag might leave. This is after Manchester United pulled one of the poor performers when it came to the last season, and after winning the FA, it's like the management got trust with Erik ten Hag. Also, Manchester City, they are trying to sign the Newcastle midfielder and the Brazilian midfielder, that is Bruno Guimarães. Guimarães is one of the players who are playing for Newcastle, and Manchester City, they are interested in signing Bruno Guimarães. So those are the kind of transfer deals that we have. Also, Tammy Abraham is being targeted by the West Ham. West Ham side, they want to sign Tammy Abraham from ASC Roma. This is one of the England forward who was playing for Chelsea. He moved to Roma now. West Ham side, they want to sign him. Those are the kind of transfer rumors that we are having. Of course, if you want to know who your team want to sign, remember to send us a message. In Afrique 24, we have DIMBA show. This is where we discuss more about La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A. We discuss about the Premier League, and also we tell you more about UEFA, Euro, Conference, and also the Europa. This is the DIMBA La Afrique show, and I am your host, Boniface Kimazi. I will always tell you this: when it comes to football, you need to understand what you want, because when it comes to football, you see what is happening. Ronaldo is almost 39 years, almost 40, but he is playing like a 25-year-old. This is showing how passionate Cristiano Ronaldo is, how he is focused by his talent, because he understood that he has a talent, and that is why he has been one of the greatest goal scorers in the European competition. You go to Saudi Arabia in the Al Nassr, he is scoring goals. This shows how Cristiano Ronaldo is a very good player and passionate about what he is doing. Remember, in Afrique 24, we always have you covered. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's DIMBA L'Afrique show as we analyze what is happening in Euro 2024. And the big question is, who is going to win Euro 2024? Thank you so much. Wherever you have been following this show, remember, we always have daily shows in our program. Make sure support us by subscribing, like, comment, and share. Thank you for today. Until next time, we shall be here and we shall be discussing more about football. Cheers and see you next time. Same place, same time. Goodbye.